Hi, my name is Chris Ore. I'm with the Sacramento DA's office, and I'm a supervising deputy district attorney in the Special Assault and Child Assault Unit. Each of the attorneys assigned to this unit actually also gets to help be involved in what's called a multidisciplinary team. So they get to be involved in the investigation right from the front. They work with CPS, law enforcement, licensing, and we all try to participate in the interviews of our victims at one time in one interview so that children aren't subjected to repeated interviews by law enforcement. We try to make it as least obtrusive as we can for the children. The children we have as victims in these cases can be as young as 2 or 3 years old up to 14 years old in my unit. And so we have very, very young victims. Some of them are too young to even be able to tell us exactly what happened to them, but we have luckily some great outstanding technology. We have the ability to do sexual assault exams, and we have a couple of cases right now in our unit involving individuals that sexually assaulted young kids, 2 and 3 year olds, where luckily we have DNA evidence to prove it because the child can't articulate what happened to them, but science can help us show what happened to them. So we're very fortunate to have a crime lab that's able to help us prove up those cases when the victims can't. So in addition to having very young victims, you know, from age 3 up to 13 or 14, we have the complexity of trying to get those victims to come and be able to testify in front of a juror and in front of the person that harmed them. And so we work very closely with our victim witness unit. So we have victim witness advocates that come help us, the attorneys, help make that experience for the victims as easy as possible. It's never easy to bring in a child to have them describe having been sexually assaulted. But the attorneys assigned here are very sensitive to that. We meet multiple times with our victims to try to help them get through that, help them tour the courtroom, understand the process. And amazingly, the kids are often very brave, sometimes more brave than their adult parents in describing what happened and making it through that process. And another interesting thing that's kind of changed over the last couple of years is that with the change in the statute of limitations, our unit is able to actually prosecute a large number of cases that in the past maybe people didn't think could be prosecuted. So because the statute of limitations changes have been made over the years, we have a large number of cases where we have victims who are in their 20s or 30s describing what happened to them. And so our attorneys work with those victims also, and we're able to have cases where we've prosecuted and achieved justice for victims that were assaulted back in the 1990s. And so it's kind of a diverse job. We work with very young people up to also very, very adults.